again. We need faith the size of a mustard seed. What? The name of all names, worthy of all this praise, that still ain't enough. This is how hard I prayed and he told me to go. That was enough for me right where I'm at. Took me to places that I couldn't go back. Ready, set, go. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the latest episode of Making the Case for Your Lawyer Dreams. Of course, I'm your host, Anthony Denmark, the founder of BecomingJD, where we make it our goal, our purpose, to help give you guys the resources that you need to successfully navigate this journey. We are literally at episode, I think, like 75. We've been blessed to have an amazing list of guests come from so many different walks of life. Lawyers, judges, admissions directors, all coming to be able to provide resources and tips for you guys. For you guys to be able to see the dreams that you have are reachable. And the challenges that you're going through right now, guess what, fam? There's somebody out there who's doing what you want to do who had to overcome those same challenges. And so I want you guys to make sure that you stay locked in. Let us know where you're viewing our session from, of course. I'm holding it down in St. Louis, Missouri. It is not the place that I want to be. No way. But it's currently the place where God has me. So let me know where it is that you're viewing our session from. In addition to that, one of the things that we do every session, you guys, is I want you guys to fill our chat box up with questions. Because wherever you are in your journey, we want to make sure that you guys are getting the resources, the tips, the networking opportunities, and also get the answers that you may want to get received, right? And so we got Mississippi in the house, North Carolina in the house. I know right now we got millions of people who are currently under tornado watch. So I'm sending nothing but prayers and positive vibes out there to you guys as well. But again, so fill our chat box up with questions. In addition to that, also, you guys, we have an amazing guest coming on tonight. Her name is Sharday, Nicole. Sis had a dream, had a love for music, and turned it into a career. She's an entertainment lawyer. And so for you guys out there who may be interested in entertainment law, or for you guys out there who think that maybe where I go to school limits what I can do, we call it cap on cap on cap on that, right? Because I want you guys to be able to see that if you move with intention, it really doesn't matter where you go to school. It's all about you having the ability to network and show your ability to be successful, and then it's going to work itself out. And so I want you guys to make sure that you stay locked in. In addition to that, I do want to drop a few quick nuggets for you guys out there who have not got accepted into law school. I want you guys to make sure and check out the Clio PreLaw Summer Institute. The deadline for applying to the program has been extended from April 1st to April 18th. If you have not been accepted into law school, if you've been ghosted by law schools, you better take your butt there and apply. No, seriously. I had 8 or 9 students who did it last year who are now about to finish up their 1L year. We want to make sure that you guys are doing everything possible to make sure that you're in law school, okay? I'm going to be doing a separate live where I'm going to talk about the PreLaw Summer Institute, but I want to make sure that you guys are making sure that you're doing everything possible to get into school. If you have not heard back from law schools yet, if you've been waitlisted, now may be a good time to send us some letter of continued interest. What's going on, Fat Man? Congratulations on the baby. I can't wait to see pictures. But nevertheless, I want you guys to stay locked in. I want you guys to be understanding that this journey is going to be full of peaks and valleys, y'all. It's not going to be all good times. But you know what? If you weather your storm, there is going to be a positive result at the end. So I want you guys to stay locked in. We got Texas in the house. We got Mississippi in the house. We got Missouri in the house. We got Illinois in the house. And so I want you guys to make sure to lock in. Also make sure you utilize the space to ask questions as well. So let's go ahead and get our guest on, Miss Sharday. Let's see if I can find her. There we go. There she is. because at the end of the day, I want you guys to understand that although at times you may feel like you ride a solo dolo on this journey, nah, fam, you got a whole tribe here.
Hey,
What it do, fam? How we doing, sis?
I'm, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Oh man, blessed. We got the weather forecast out here, but nevertheless, we always gonna make it.
What's
But
your weather
nevertheless,
looking like?
oh man, we got tornadoes out here.
Tornadoes, child.
But nevertheless, I'm excited to be able to have you here. I think one thing that's having opportunity is that we have a lot of people that say things about wanting to do things, especially going into entertainment law. And a lot of times people create what I call they create their own barriers of why they can't be successful. And one of the things about you, sis, is
Um,
you manifested that, John. Like for real. Like,
for
oh,
real.
we gonna make this happen.
Really did.
And so I want to first start off with, of course, you doing a general introduction. We know we got a lot of love and vibes already on the chat for you. Let them know who you are, and go ahead and start this process of inspiring the masses to follow your
Yes.
footsteps.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out. This was such a blessing to be able to spread my story to hopefully encourage somebody else to follow in my footsteps, especially people that look like us because there's not a lot of us in there. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, so like I said in the video, this is my first year as an attorney. I just passed the bar exam in the February bar exam. Well, not this, sorry, July bar exam. I'm tripping. You know why? Because I took the bar exam 4 times, okay? And
And that's still
finally
okay.
passed it. Right, and finally passed it. So it's like really truly a blessing. So I passed in July, so I'm in my first year as an attorney, just got sworn in last week. So I mean, it's all just so crazy. I still feel like I'm on a high. So basically, I went to undergrad in Miami at Johnson and Wales
Oh,
University, and I was a criminal justice major like everybody else.
yeah.
And from there, I mean, even when I was in New York, I always like shows like Law and Order and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna be a criminal prosecutor. This, that, and the third. And once I got to undergrad, I was like, absolutely not. This is not my world. Immediately, no. And I just so happened to be in a state, especially a city that's like engulfed in music.
Yes.
So from there, I was like, you know what? This might be like my next thing. So when it came time for internships and stuff like that, since I was a criminal justice major, they were like, you should do these security jobs or do this, that. And I'm like, absolutely not. I went out on my own and I was like, someone need to help me with this. So I went to one of the professors that worked in the entertainment sector of the school, and he helped me land an internship with Reginald Mathis, and he's Florida's manager. So from there, I was like, yeah, this
This
is
is
what
my
I need to
vibe.
be doing. That's what I need to be doing. Like I've always loved music, you know. I always say music is my lifeline. So this was just a natural um field that I got into. And of course I want to do other things beyond legal, but this, this is why. So from undergrad, took the LSAT, went to law school, graduated, took the bar 4 times, and here I
And that is the Sharday Nicole
am.
story. Yeah, y'all got that in 1 minute.
Yeah.
But no, I think the thing that's amazing, right? It's like for a lot of people, like we have a lot of people who are in different spaces in their journeys. We
Yeah.
have people who, are in that cycle where they're retaking the bar exam, which is brutal. Or we have people who are in that space right now where they done got ghosted by law schools. They're like, damn, you took my money
Hello.
and I ain't heard
I
nothing
got
from you.
ghosted from law schools. Let me tell you something. I applied for so many law schools, but one in particular I really wanted to go to, which was Howard University. Of course, because it's Howard. Man, when I tell you I did the absolute most to get into that school, I applied. I wasn't hearing back from them. Then I got waitlisted. I went to the school to visit everybody. They took me on a tour. I got home and like 2 weeks later, they're like, "Sorry to inform you, you didn't get in." I was like, "Oh, so y'all didn't want me here? Oh, okay."
And I think the thing that's amazing about that story, right, it's like for a lot of people, sis, and I want you guys out there to be able to really resonate with what you said. Yeah, we have a plan A. We have a dream school. But
Yeah,
fam, like
it
at the end of the day,
don't
you
always work
guys,
out.
sometimes we gotta pivot,
You
yo.
you
And
have to pivot. I mean,
because, I tell people jokingly, but seriously also, there's 197 law schools out there.
mm,
And if you have a tunnel vision only towards one school, you're going to miss out on an opportunity to start because you can always transfer, but maybe,
absolutely.
the goal is law school. I'm not saying, some people woke up saying, were born saying, I want to go to this school, this school, this
Yeah.
school. Some people was like, I want to be a lawyer. So, and that's something they can
Right.
do now. And so one of the things I definitely want to explore with you, just because you just brought that up, is like, how was it for you having to pivot and open up your options? Because I think a lot of people are kind of struggling with that. They done got a whole lot of rejections, or they're on the wait list, and they're
Right.
in that space where, do I just sit and wait and do nothing, or do I go and try to shoot my shot at some other schools that I know that I could get into?
Right. That's a really good question. And every time I'm presented with a question like that, I'm just like, if you know what you want to do, there's no school on this planet that will dictate your future. There's none.
Can you
The
say that
only
one more time? I don't think the back heard
I'm
that.
telling you,
Real.
I'm telling you, no school on this planet could dictate your future. None. Only God can dictate your future. And these schools, it's like a hierarchy, and it's so much politics
Yeah.
involved. It's like I went into law school, or even before that, with the perspective like, this is what I want to do. So it's so,
Right.
there's not I what I am still on such a level of delusion that this is the only plan for me. So when you have to pivot with other things in your life that will help you accomplish your ultimate goal, it's fine as long as you know what you want and what you need to do to get there. So for me, I didn't have a great LSAT score.
Okay.
I had okay grades. So I wasn't really expecting to get into a Yale or Harvard or what have you. I knew I was a good writer, and I was like, oh, I have that on my side, whatever. So I didn't get accepted to many law schools. And this one in particular that I got accepted to, I applied because my best friend lives in Michigan and she's in here. Hey, girl. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go here. I can stay with her and get my education on pretty much. And that's all I was focused on, like getting through law school. And I'm going to worry about how I'm going to get into my field later. I just know I'm getting in my field. I know I'm going to do what I want to do. I didn't allow my name the name of my school to dictate what I thought I was going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Can you say that one more time? I think Michaela said this in a shout out for you.
I did not allow my school to dictate my future at all. So I tell people, like, if you don't have those big names on your resume or whatever, it's not the end of the world. Like, just strive hard. Like you said, you can transfer to schools because, unfortunately, if you want to go to, say, like big law, they look for certain type of schools. Like, where did you graduate? That's just the
That's
truth.
real, yeah.
Now, if you can network yourself in, that's still a great opportunity because, see, if I wanted to work in big law while I'm in law school, I'm reaching out for like to partners at big law firms and anybody that I can to maybe get a sit down, a chat, a Zoom, some coffee, some lunch, or what we got to do to get me into big law when I graduate. So it's more than one way to skin a cat, you know? But sometimes you do, the name of the school does matter for certain things, but you are the captain of your ship, you know what I'm saying? So you just gotta know how to maneuver and think on your feet. Like, all right, I got accepted to this. All right, now how can I
Make
get
this
something
work.
else? All right, let me, finesse. I'm from New York, so we gotta keep on moving. We can't just allow this one thing to just, you
And
know.
you guys who just joined us, we're live and in full effect with attorney Sharday Nicole right here. Yeah, yeah. And also, one of the things I want you guys to understand is that, yes, we have things that are convenient. Sister says she went from New York to Miami to Western Michigan.
To
Yo, this journey
California,
you're going, yeah, it'd be
listen,
so great if I
to
could go to law
California,
school in New York
to back.
and be
Like,
with the fam and be able to kick
yeah,
it. It'd be so
yeah,
great if I could just stay in the hub in Miami. It's just, go to FIU, go to
yeah.
Miami. It just make it convenient.
Oh no, nothing about my life was convenient. You know what? For my dream, I will move mountains. Okay, I will move the galaxy if it needs to be that. Like when I was living in Detroit at first, and then the pandemic happened, I moved back to New York. Then I moved back to Lansing because my school consolidated and the school is in Lansing now. I was praying, fasting, everything on an internship for Universal. That's how you get into this in-house industry. You got to do internships and you got
How
to
much you get
apply.
for the internship?
Okay? Talk about
All
that
right.
part. Listen to me. I was working at a law firm in Lansing, getting paid enough money, to pay my rent, to, do what I need to do. I was doing good and I was growing. And then Universal hit me back after they denied me first. They hit me back and they're like, you could join and congratulations for $15 an hour.
Say what?
$15 an hour. I said, well, I haven't gotten paid $15 an hour since I was in undergrad,
Yeah.
freshman year. But I was like, you know what? This opportunity means more than money could ever afford me. Like it is priceless. It's gonna go on my resume, and I'm gonna go up from here. I already knew it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna network. I'm gonna see if I can probably gain a job from this opportunity and make make it happen from there. And when I went there, and I unfortunately didn't get a job out of it, but I did make meaningful connections. And I think that even if a person or opportunity isn't able to take you to the next step, I believe once you start working with the universe starts working for you. So you start making those moves. I swear to God, once I really started making those moves, like, apply for internships, join BESLA's, the Black Entertainment Sports Lawyers Association, and all of these moves I was making, the universe was shifting opportunity after opportunity my way. And I think that's something that's so important. Like when you believe and you manifest and you pray and then you go and get it, there's no way nothing can stop you. There's no way you could fail.
I mean, peep this, yo. I hope you guys are catching this vibe and catching this energy. Like, this whole journey is all about planting seeds. You
Yes.
know when you're going to reap what you sow,
Right.
positively, of course.
Yeah,
But like really, this process is about sacrifice
for
and
sure.
really being able to step out your comfort zone. I want you guys out there to be able to realize it's like none of this process is going to be convenient. Sisters told you that she had to take a pay cut
Pay
to
cut.
making less than what they make in McDonald's
Wait,
now, 20 an hour.
hello. I said this is crazy. And then to rent that's astronomical from my beautiful apartment that I just got. I bought brand new furniture. I had to sell it for crackhead prices. I'm just like, this is just it's a lot. But I saw something different, than just $15 an hour. And I would have did it for free, to be honest with you.
You
I
hear that,
just would have
y'all?
found a way I swear to God. I've done things for free to learn or to get, I'm not even going to say networking, just to get in that atmosphere so that I'm like, okay, this is what I need to do. any wisdom that you could bestow upon me is literally more than money. I'm trying to tell you. I would do it for free. I
Now,
would.
Peep Game says, I saw your Instagram. I said, okay, MGM. I was like, okay, I know there's a story behind it. How did you pull that off, sis?
For where?
To get to that internship for $15 an hour. How did
Oh,
you pull that off?
God, child, I swear it couldn't have been nobody else because I'm telling you, they denied me. They denied me. And I wrote it in my journal in like 2017 or something like that, maybe 2016, that I'm gonna work at Universal Music Group. Mind you, I didn't get this internship until 2022. So I put it on my vision board that year, and I was like, something gotta change. I started fasting. I started praying every day for this opportunity. And then I got, unfortunately, you didn't get accepted to the program in New York. But I thought that meant I just didn't get accepted nowhere. And I was, sad about it, down on myself. But I went to this annual conference for BecomingJD, and something in that atmosphere, like, enlightened another fire in me. And I was just like, you know what? Still pray about it, still fast on it, even if they told you no. And I swear to you, like a month later, they were like, you got accepted to California. I don't know how. I didn't reach out. I didn't do any of this.
Wow.
It just happened.
Are you guys catching this, you guys? Like, literally on this journey, one thing you got to do is stay consistent. You are
Uh,
going to hear no's. You are
oh,
going to get
I
rejected.
got hundreds of no's. What?
You are going to get curved, but you just got to be like, all right, wipe
No
off them
one.
tears.
I ain't even. It got to the point where I was like, okay, and just kept it pushing. Like at this point, the worst you could tell me is no, and the best thing I can hear from you is yes. So if it's just gonna be a no, it's a no anyway. I'm not about to trip over it. It just means it's not for me. It doesn't mean no for everything. It's just not for me.
And so one of the things I definitely wanted you to speak on now is I always ask people this question, and it's going to give a little 90s vibe. I'm showing my age. But I think oftentimes the only way that for us to be lawyers, we are built a little bit different. I'm sure we've heard it our
Different.
whole life, and you
Yeah,
guys
for
watching it
sure.
agree. But this question I ask is, when did you fall in love with law? What made you want this stuff so much? I mean, come
Mm,
on. We can go
mm.
on OnlyFans and make $21 million showing our feet. I mean, dang.
Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, I was watching some girls YouTube videos, and she was talking about working at McDonald's. I'm like, your check is near mine. Is insane to me. I went to law school. But you know what? It doesn't matter. So I want to say that law, I like it a lot, right? But I fell in love with music.
Mm.
Music is my first love, my only true love, I like to say. It's
Oh
my
my goodness.
lifeline.
So you definitely know what I'm talking about with brown sugar.
Hello, that's my favorite
Hip
movie.
hop.
I relate to her so much. So music is my first love, and then in my brain I was like, how can I enter into this world and still make a profit and still be passionate about something, like a purpose, you know? So it got me thinking, but I never in my wildest dreams thought entertainment law, because to be honest, before I went to undergrad, I didn't even know there was entertainment law.
Right, right.
Of course, like in hindsight, you're like, duh, girl, how you think everything happens with contracts and stuff? But I never really truly sat and thought about it. So when I started interning with Mathis, I was like, wow, it's way more to this than I even imagined. And then on top of that, I'm a poet, I'm a writer. And I was like, how can I protect people like me? You know, their voice, and advocate for the people that has blessed me with something that I love so much. And it was like, okay, you're just gonna have to become a lawyer. Do I like everything about the law? Hell no. But this, I feel like I have the power to make real differences in my position as it pertains to music. And that is what I'm passionate about and that I'm in love with, you know?
And I think that's the amazing thing is I think for you guys out there, when things do get tough and they be getting tough a whole lot, like for real, you have
Trenches.
to remember like, okay, what am I doing this for? And so one of the things
Yes.
I asked you was like during this journey when things were tough, like what did you lean on to be like, all right, man,
Mm.
wipe this off. All right, let's go.
You
you know.
know, and I'm gonna say that my best friend can attest to this. It was really God for real. Like through the whole process, I'm like, I just don't want to let him down. I just don't want to let him down. But truly, I feel like for something that I prayed on and that I spoke to him about, he wouldn't place this feeling, this idea, this dream in my being without it being something that is going to leave an impact, you know,
Mm-hmm.
on this world before I leave. And that is what kept me going. Like, girl, you belong here. There's something in this world, in this atmosphere, in this industry that you need to make an impact on. And that is what kept me going because if not, I was like, child, I don't know. You sure God because it don't really look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but
I
it's looking
think
tough right
I
now.
like a lot of times, y'all, it's just like sometimes on our journey, we get so caught up in where we're having what we haven't attained yet, we forget to realize, like, bro, do you realize how far you're
Oh
at?
my God. I always talk to my friends about that. I'm just like, bro, we could not ever imagine being where we at now, even though we're not all the way where we want to be, but we wanted to be here at some point before. And here we are. And I wish that we would take more moments to really just live in it and digest it. Like I was just telling my best friend when I got sworn in the other day, I'm like, the best feeling in the world was passing this bar exam, conquering something that just felt like my Goliath. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was such a high that now when I got sworn in, it felt like, okay, I'm getting sworn in. But I told her, like, I'm forcing myself to live in this moment and appreciate what's happening right now. I don't care if I don't feel as excited as the bar exam. Appreciate your moment because this moment is going to keep passing, and then there's going to be another moment that you want, then another moment that you want. And we need to take a moment to really appreciate it because it's like, yo, we asked for it and we got it. You know,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And the journey, though it was hard as hell, it was hard. And when I tell you blood, sweat, and tears, I mean it, tears for days, but it was worth it. So you have to stand in that moment and really be present and really appreciate it.
Now, one of the things that we like to do in Becoming JD, and I'm not sure if you've seen it, is we love sharing those moments when you guys pass the bar. I
Oof.
want you to tell me what that experience was like. Because I
Man,
swear for God, I know
how
it was
you
probably.
felt? It was like I tell everybody this. Every time I took the bar exam before, I felt anxiety. I felt anxious, like a burden was on me, you know? And then this time around, even while I was studying, I was the one people went to, like, it's gonna be okay. It's fine. Like, don't even worry about it. We already passed. Every morning, every night. Thank you, God, for allowing me to pass the July 2024 bar exam. It already happened in my brain. So the moment that I saw the email, I usually don't even check my emails
Yeah.
at and so early in the morning. I just go to the gym. After the gym, I go. So 5:30 in the morning, I see the email, and
What?
I felt a sense of peace over
Oh,
me.
wow.
I felt peace. I wasn't anxious, and immediately I just opened it, and all I saw was congratulations. I screamed
Oh,
to the
my
top of my lungs,
God.
ran to my room, my mother's room, and I went crazy. I was crying. It was so much. It was so beautiful. I just felt like, oh man, I can't even describe the feeling because it just felt like the ending of a gruesome but beautiful in a way chapter. and a beginning to such amazing
Yeah.
opportunities that it was just like a burden was lifted off of me, man. It was insane.
So go ahead and take us behind the scenes. What is life like as an entertainment lawyer? Because I think like people may be familiar with the sports aspect of it.
Right.
So many things that you can do or probably are doing right now that people are
Yeah.
not knowing.
Right. So in-house at a record label for like a manager or even somebody that would be considered a director, it's different from the traditional associate and this, that, and the third that you would probably hear at a law firm. And sometimes you'll see it at a record label, but a lot of the time you'll see a manager of business and legal affairs or director. So I'm a manager, and the next step will be director. And basically, a day in a life for me looks like drafting a lot of contracts, a lot of producer contracts, licensing agreements, um, certificate of engagements, rights management. So, say someone is like, hey, is it okay to re release this song? We have to then go back to the contract and be like, read it, of course, interpret it, and then be able to interpret it back to them and let them know what we can and can't do with this song. And I work on the master recording side. That's important to explain because publishing and master recordings are completely different,
Okay.
though they work together all the time, you know? So I work on the master side of things, the recording side, the record labels, which I find, I don't want to say better. I'm going to say it's more interesting to me than publishing, only because publishing is very hard to grasp for me, and that's the beauty in this whole thing because I'm still learning it. And the more I learn it, the more I appreciate it and see how it is going to be super important to truly understand it in this age of AI. So
Yes.
I'm forcing myself to really hone in on my skill set, but I work on the master side, drafting a lot of agreements, rights management, working with some copyright infringement. Like if we are the copyright owner or maybe the copyright holder, we have rights to a record that you can't release if it's exclusive, especially. So, sending out cease and desist for that. Looking through like Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all of the DSPs, digital service providers, to make sure that you don't have our songs up for our really the recording artists under us, the exclusive recording artists. Because if we're exclusively holding the right to their performance, then you're not allowed to put up their song without a waiver. So I'm drafting a lot of waivers. So it's like a continuous cycle. And that's just like, I guess, the front line of things. And then the back line is I work for VP Records, and that's a lot of catalog that
Oh.
goes way back. So um doing a lot of catalog work, fixing things in the system. It's just it's fun to me. It's interesting. It's just a lot of things going on every day, and it's just different every day. So I love it.
I guess one of the things that made me think about as soon as I saw that you're VP in the entertainment law, I was like, huh,
Yeah.
I bet you the whole Kendrick Drake beef a whole lot different
Yo.
from the view of an entertainment lawyer. You're talking about the masters. You're talking about them having to release certain things so they could do the reaction videos.
Yeah.
Like, how was you for you, and not just being able to consume it as a listener, but also as a lawyer,
Um, it's hard to say because before I'm a lawyer, I'm a lover of music.
right?
So I'm listening to it like, did you just hear what he said? You ain't even catch that. Rewind, like you ain't even catch what he just said. Or do you even hear that beat? Do you hear how he is that a sample? Do you know what sample that? That's how I'm
Yes.
listening to it. It's not really the legal aspect of things really until homeboy just sued
Uh-huh.
Universal, and I was like, ooh, this is juicy because I've never really heard of a case like this when they're both on the same umbrella of a label. And I'm just like, You're suing them for doing their job. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Endorsing him, marketing Kendrick, but he's saying that they're inciting all of these things. So I'm just like, this is going to be an interesting case. And that's the excitement of working in the industry around things like that. Also, things like, using lyrics against you in the courtroom. Those things interest me because I'm just like, it's never been done. And now I'm getting to live real time. AI matters with
Yeah.
people's publishing, how you going to use people's voice without their permission. But it's kind of like, if you're not the copyright holder, do you really have a case? Now, maybe the artists have a case for their name and likeness rights. It's
Right.
just so many things that you could think about. So it's exciting to
Right.
me.
Because that was one of the other dynamics that came up in the beef, right? Because
Yeah.
at that
That
did
BBL Jersey thing.
the BBL Drizzy one, and then Drake had that song where he had Tupac on it, had Snoop on it
Yes.
with the name.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
was like,
know.
how
I
that
didn't even
work?
I didn't even get a chance to dive deep into all of it, but it's very interesting to me. Yes.
And I think the amazing thing is, it's like what you learn in this whole aspect is kind of like law is everything, and
Yes.
found a way
Yes.
to be able to integrate your passion for music and
Yeah.
law, and that's what
Hmm.
kind of held you forward when things got tough. Now,
Absolutely.
one of the things that I always ask people is, I think a lot of times people feel a lot of fear. I think the
Oh,
big was bigger than the LSAT, bigger than acceptances, bigger than the bar. Is us being able to be like, yo, it's me versus me. I want
absolutely.
to tell me what was the biggest challenge that you had to overcome thus far on your journey, and the bar can't be used. You can't say the bar.
Oh no, it's not the bar for sure. It's imposter syndrome.
Mm.
It's imposter syndrome. I did not have a blueprint for this. I didn't even know you had to take an LSAT to get into law school.
Uh-huh.
All of these things I learned in undergrad. I had to figure it out myself. I've just been figuring it out. Child, I stumbled into this. Okay. I was figuring it all out. I didn't have a blueprint. So when I got to law school, and it was just me and one other black girl in the class, me and my girl Chanel, just me and her, just thugging it through. I mean, the dean was rude to her too. I'm just like, these people. And it just didn't feel like you belong when you're in a class and they're just like, my father had a law firm and that's why and my sister and brother is lawyers or doctors or all of these things. It's just like, you don't have a blueprint for this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I come from the hood. So it's just like, I'm just trying to be here and figure it out. And sometimes you don't feel worthy, or you just don't feel like you fit, especially when you don't see it throughout your life. Like, you see it on TV, but in real life, I never had a someone to look to be like, all right, that's the blueprint. That's who I could, go to for advice and follow. It was just me. So my first year at law school was the hardest year in my entire life. I was depressed. I was walking around my best friend's house like a damn zombie because I wasn't myself. I couldn't find me anymore. I was just lost in the books, lost in my job. I was just going, living. But I swear I didn't really feel like I belonged until the first moment was when I went to that annual conference at for Beesla. And then the second moment really was when I had a job previously at a publishing company that I was so stressed out. And my I'm trying to find the right words. I'm finding it. My supervisor wasn't the best supervisor to me. I'll just say that. And she really made me feel like I didn't belong. Like, boy. And then that's when I found out I didn't pass the bar exam the first time. So it was me taking a break, stepping outside of myself, getting into the word, and truly understanding, like, girl, he gave you this.
Mm.
He gave you this dream. There's no way you don't belong here. There's no way. There's no way you don't. So when I started this job and I felt heard and seen, and I built up my confidence like crazy, and, and really focused on my skill set and learning. And the more I learned, the more I'm like, oh, please, I understand this like exactly what you're asking me for. Oh, when you build that confidence up in yourself, there's no one that could tell you that you're not that girl or that guy.
Right.
So it's really overcoming, like you said, the fears that you have in yourself. I don't know if I was necessarily scared or what was in fear of what the future held. I was so excited about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you have so many no's, and when you don't feel heard or seen, and you're feeling like someone is disrespecting you in this atmosphere, it can make it seem like, damn, you're not even supposed to be in this right now. But once you get over that hump, everything will be better on the other side. It's all in you though. It's like no one can bring you out of that thought process. Like it's just the way you're manifesting things and the way you're thinking. You have to switch that. And it's easier said than done, trust me. And like I
Yeah.
said, I was depressed. But
Yeah.
I had to get up out of that. There's no way.
And I
But
think
I think once.
you got someone giving you your flowers and said, now you are the blueprint. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Because I think the thing that's amazing about this is it's like, all this is about us learning how to operate outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, we're at each stage of your journey is getting that reality check that, dang, I got to make some changes.
Right.
Damn, I got to grow. Dang,
Right.
I got to operate in different communities
Mm.
where I may be one of few. And
Right.
have to be able to thrive in that space
Hmm.
and understand that's is capable. I would not be here if they didn't think I wasn't capable. They just don't be gifted acceptances to folks. They can't afford
Right.
that. And
Absolutely. Right.
the thing is you being able, and I remember going through it myself, and it's like something that you have to ultimately realize. It just clicks. Where it's
Yeah.
like, I got this shit.
Right. It does. And I think to capitalize off of that, it's like you have to be honest with yourself. Like when I tell you I am brutally honest with myself, not to my demise, because we could be so hard on ourselves
Yeah.
sometimes. Like so hard, and it's not okay. But when you're brutally honest with yourself, when you don't feel like you belong, do things that make you feel like you will belong. Like not to try to fit in with people, but for yourself. What is it that you need to learn, that you need to accomplish to be able to be like, I'm here now. What's up? You know? So for me, I was staying the latest at school because I didn't understand. Like, I feel like a lot of my people, it was me and Chanel, the last people to leave the building. I'm telling you, just trying to understand. When I didn't pass the bar, every single time, I was like, Sharday, all right, did you really put your all into studying? Did you really allocate your time properly? Did you really, really sitting down and having those hard conversations? Like, no, you didn't, sis. Now, what do you need to do different to really hone in on your skill set, to really hone in on your things? Even today, I'm just like, girl, you better be reading these books because school is done. Now you got to teach yourself more, your skill set. Law school only teach you about 7 subjects, and then the other 7 on the test, and then you and your skill set, and they just like, here. What? No one taught me entertainment law. I had to learn it alone. So it's like, what are you doing in order to solidify your position in this atmosphere? Not trying to be down with anybody, but be down with yourself. Like, what do you need to do to feel heard, to feel seen, you know, to feel present?
Because I think the crazy thing is, especially for lawyers, we have the ability to convince other people that everything's okay. And
Right.
we can convince ourselves that
Mm.
everything is okay.
Mm.
And
I
so
tell you, yeah.
the bit about personal accountability is so huge
Yeah,
because I try to make sure that I'm going to be harder on me than anybody ever will be. So that way I can try to be a better version of myself. Now, one of the
absolutely.
things I always love to do, I know it's Wednesday. Some folks may have just left church or still, I always love to end our show with a word of encouragement.
Mm.
Uh, because I know, like I started the show, this journey is full of a lot of downs and ups. I said downs first on purpose,
Yeah,
but where people are waiting to hear from schools, being rejected from schools,
yeah.
having study for the bar exam. And I always love to give you guys the final word of what to say to those people who may
Mm-hmm.
be on giving up, maybe just feel like giving up because
Mm-hmm.
we all been there.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
You guys are able to share your stories. To let them look, like Bex just said, I'm the blueprint.
Right.
So what words you?
So I think it's like on two aspects. So the first one, in regards to feeling like you're giving, like you want to give up. Honestly, it's just don't, and really remember what you even started this for, because that is the only thing that's going to keep you going in this crazy, crazy world of ups and
Yeah,
downs and ups. You right, downs and ups. But when you're passionate about something, I'm not gonna say the downs don't matter, but I feel like allow yourself to feel the down
yeah,
in the moment. Allow yourself to feel it, but get back up and say, "Girl, listen. You know what you was in here for. Like, let's get it going. Enough crying. Let's get to work." And then the second thing is be present in the journey, and that's what I am still teaching myself.
yeah.
And if I can just impart anything onto aspiring attorneys and help anybody, just be present in the journey, man. There's so many moments where I'm just like, damn, I should have really embraced that moment, because we don't get another moment like that back. And these are the times where we're the most stressed out, and life can be fleeting. Like, I'm about to be 30 years old. That's crazy to me because yesterday I was 25. So it's just like, please be present. Please allow yourself grace, man. The world beats us up enough. Why do you want to also become Mike Tyson on yourself? Like, please. The world doesn't need another one. So just give yourself grace because God gave you grace.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
you guys, you are not on this journey alone. Sis, tell them where they could follow you or shoot questions at you to learn what you did.
Well, well, you can follow me on Sharday Nicole, well, underscore Sharday Nicole on Instagram, Sharday Kita on LinkedIn, and that's pretty much what I'm on. And you can always hit me up like, hey, I want to chat. Hey, do you have some time to meet? I will always make time to meet. I will always make time to chat. I will always make time to answer questions because I will never forget the people who did it for me.
Absolutely. And you guys, we created this space for you guys to see people doing what you want to do. So I just told y'all, reach out to her. So don't be scared. You are not on this journey alone. Sharday said,
Absolutely
I
not.
want to thank you so much for joining us
No,
today
thank you.
and
Thank you.
drop gems. You guys, if you
Yeah.
missed, you could watch the whole episode, of course, on Instagram or subscribe to our YouTube channel at BecomingJD. But sis, I'll let you say the final thing before we tell them bye.
Well, no, I just want to thank you for having me, honestly, and thank you for asking me so many interesting questions that I really feel like people will digest and try to really understand and move forward with their journey. I love that. And thank you for everybody for attending. Shout outs to y'all.
So you guys continue to fight for your lawyer dreams. We're here praying for you, rooting for you, and waiting to help you navigate this space. We'll see you, of course, the same time, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace and blessings.